Just part of the morning haul. Got some stuff back home here. We'll do a little walk around. Kinda get us up to date. And what's on here, that's one of them McCormick-Deering M's. And that one right there is one of them igniter models. And this right here is the spark plug model. And I had all the intentions in the world of putting this engine together first. This was going to be the project. And I've changed my mind. What shall we work on today? What shall we work on today? I've got another engine over there I'm going to show to you that we're going to put together first. And I do have some projects that I'm behind on. Been on a road trip. And it's going to take me a while to catch up. I mean, even the mail, I ain't even caught up on the mail. And here I am out here working on an engine. I use work in the generic term because it's all play here on the east coast of Arkansas. And, yeah, well, I had to get a Maytag in there. And I tell you what, that Maytag right there, now, that is a $50 Maytag. Good day when you learn something. And right over yonder, let's get over there. Let's get over yonder and look at that. Well, this ain't no side trip. This is the main trip. And this right yonder, that's one of them Ontario wind engine and pump company limited. Y'all know who made it. Leave a comment. And this engine right here, the only reason that I wanted this engine, it's stuck pretty bad. Got some bad parts on it. The crankshaft yonder is really bad. Been exposed to the weather quite a while. A lot of missing parts. But it does got these flywheels on yonder, and I sure do need a flywheel some more bad. Because the one I got is cracked. And if it's one thing that I will advise you, stake my reputation on, is, listen up now, this is real important. Cracked, broken, welded flywheels, you know, my advice is use caution, guys, to the point of not running the engine in the public. They're just not safe. I know, leave a comment, think what you want to, there's no getting around it. A cracked flywheel is not safe. No matter who owns it. I got some of them, and they're not safe. Let's pass on. Looking down in that hopper yonder. Oh, that's a nice one right there. Governor weight. I needed that. The one I'm working on it's broken, been welded. And if you look down in yonder, sometimes you find some good stuff in these hoppers. And right there is that's a choice little item right there. It's broke off and the pipes broke off up in here, but we can get that out. It's a little check valve in there. Oh, it's a wonderful little item. Sure am glad to get that. The igniter has been changed out to a spark plug adapter. We'll save that. And I am going to run a Webster magnet on the engine. And I'm going to go in there and show you what we're going to use this flywheel on, and then we'll come back. This engine is badged. One of them McLeod, you know, you say it ever how you want to, Winnipeg, Canada. It's made this, right over yonder is that magneto bracket. But this is the one that we're going to use that flywheel out yonder on, because that one right over in yonder, oh, it's got a crack in it. We're going to change them out. We might get this engine running. I've had this engine here a long time. But it was to the point where if I didn't have a good flywheel, you know, I'm not going to say it was flower bed material, but it was unrunnable in a public setting. Now let's get back to them internationals. Back to the haul of the week. Point something else out to you here. This engine right here still got part of the decal on there. That's quite important. We will build this engine here at a later date. Pretty good engine. Well, I say pretty good. It's your normal old barnyard find, you know. I don't think it's been in the junkyard. I think this has been in the shed somewhere or another. Got DK magneto on there. The housing is turned around wrong. The spark plug washer come out up here like this right here. It didn't have no fuel pump on it, but I did get the fuel pump in a box of miscellaneous parts. And that engine over yonder, that's part of that 100 engine episode. And it does have a fuel pump on it. That's the last one of those to get home. And we got her. And we got her here. That's a big tag. This engine, it does have the greaser, it has the gib key protector, it does have the pulley. It's a fairly complete engine. The oiler is missing, oiler pipe. Someone has had the head and the carburetor off. I know, and let this, write this on the wall there in your shop. And it will come back to be an advantage in your life. Is when you buy an engine that's like this right here that you don't know nothing about, how long it's been, and this engine, oh, it's free. Oh, it's free. It's ready to start. Got some compression. The whole, you know, it's what you would buy at a swap meet. There's no grease whatsoever on it. It's just not a good candidate to start now. Need to take this engine apart and at least know what the rings looks like. Know they're free in the groove, and know that see, if I raise up on that flywheel a little bit, it's got some play in there. Not enough to that the engine wouldn't start. But and we don't get me on loose crankshaft bearings. We're going to discuss that when we get back to them May tags. This one over here is fairly complete engine. It is stuck fast. It did have a nail mag on it, which I've already got in the dry. We probably won't build that engine. Probably break it down for parts. Got the gib key protector, and that's a good thing. You should have that on your engine. Got to pull in. You know, if it's on there, you can't get it off, and you got to get that flywheel off. You know, something's got to give. It's the pulley. This one does have the vent, and the early models did not have that check valve there on that vent. They just had a pipe that come out turned down. Oh, y'all already know that. Remnants of the decal on this side. This engine was actually a McCormick-Deering made by International Harvester. This engine over here is actually an International, made by International Harvester. The company had not changed over the badges and merged, and you know, there's some history in there. Y'all look it up. Let's get on with the show. Let's go over yonder and look at the one that we're actually going to put together. Let's look at that. You know, it's a common engine. It's the EK, the later model with a spark plug. And this engine, well, it was basically all together, but the reason I'm going to build this engine is the top of the crankcase has been broken off all the way around. It goes all the way around here, all the way over yonder, all the way down through yonder, around through yonder. Oh, it's completely loose. The top of the hopper's broke loose. And then some farmer that you know, he knew what he was doing when he drug out that baling wire right there and wrapped it around yonder. And just looking at it, that baling wire's been on there a long time. So I'm going to leave it as is. I'm not going to remove that baling wire. I'm not going to remove the piece. We're going to put this engine together as is. As far as the, you know, you can call it patina. I call it rust. We're going to put her together. That's going to be it. And while I'm over here, a little tidbit of information. If y'all see right there, it says ignition, and then right up here it says exhaust. Exhaust right here, and it's got that little notch in it yonder, a little notch back yonder, and that lines up with that little notch down yonder. We're going to do that in depth. Okay, this one has the embossed ignition and igniter on ignition and exhaust on it also. But the early models did not have that. They didn't have no writing on the flywheel. But they did have the little notch. You see that little, it's actually a chisel mark right there for the, and it does have, if you could see it, it's got ignition, IGN right there, and then right down yonder it's got EXH and got the chisel mark right here. It did not have any embossed on the flywheel. Oh, just a little tidbit of information, you know, a little observation. Now let's get on with something